Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I got an important James Bond video for you because I was going to do like a review of Spectre, which I just saw tonight, and then a hit. But I mean, there's a couple other James Bond movies I want to watch before I do those. But I wanted to do this one. I finally answered a question that I had for a long, long time. Back, because I was born in '68, and I remember watching television in the 70s and 80s, and it was different back then, just the regular channels. We just had like the rabbit ears at the time, and we had like a big antenna that was on top of the chimney. Now we got decent reception. We got a lot of Canadian channels. We didn't have cable at the time. We didn't get cable too much later. But in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't always like 24-hour broadcasting. And a lot of times TV stations would sign off at like 2 in the morning or 1:30 in the morning or something like that, and then they sign back on 6 in the morning. I know Channel 12 WICU used to have in the morning, right at 6 o'clock, or when they sign on, they had like a chorus, a male chorus singing national anthem. This is a long time ago. I remember that from the house in Albion. And anyways, this is all before like infomercials ruined everything. I know WICU 12 used to have like late night movies. And they'd have like they'd always have like a Sunday late night movie. And it used to be like the news and then the late night movie. Then on Sunday night they had the news and they had George Michael's Sports Machine. Then they had at midnight they had a late night movie and then they sign off. And on Saturdays they used to have the news and Saturday Night Live, and then they had the movie. Then it would change to the news, Saturday Night Live, Tales from the Dark Side, and then like one movie, and then it changed to like all night movies. There's usually like 3 movies. I remember a few times, I remember hearing on a commercial, it was Vance McBride or the other guy, that tall guy, I can't remember his name, that would do like the announcement. He says, WICU TV pronounces Casino Royale starring Peter Lorre. I mean, just as a commercial, just their own little commercial of what movie's coming on. I remember seeing it once or twice. And now I know it was a James Bond movie, James Bond show. And I didn't know, that's all I heard of that show. And I couldn't find it. I looked it up. I can't find any movie catalog or anything. I remember we rented Casino Royale. This was back before what's his face? Daniel Craig's Casino Royale back in, that he did in, when did he do it? 2004? 2006. This was this was the one that was in 1967. And this one had David Niven playing in it. And this one was a comedy. And it had like an all-star cast. And it was really strange, like 5 different directors. And Woody Allen was in it. And it had like really campy type humor, similar like Batman, and with like a take on the James Bond movies that were already established at the time, that Sean Connery did. And that's the only Casino Royale I could find. I said, well, I thought it was supposed to be black and white, have Peter Lorre, and people didn't know what the heck I was talking about. I remember seeing the commercials, and they said, you probably just imagined it. I know I didn't, because I remember seeing it. And I was looking, finally I was looking up the filmography for James Bond, and I finally found the link to the old Casino Royale. And basically what this was, I saw it on YouTube. It's weird because the very first portrayal of James Bond was not played by Sean Connery. It was played by Barry Nelson. And this was done in 1954 as like an hour-long TV show for like and it was for the show the Climax TV series. And it said the very first screen appearance of James Bond in 1954 for the channel for CBS. And it says his task was to destroy the evil Le Chiffre, and his plan is to force him to lose a large sum of money at the gambling tables at Casino Royale playing Baccarat, which is a very easy way, what looks like a very easy way to lose money. So he was actually the very first person to play James Bond years before Sean Connery played him. But it's weird because it was a TV show, and I thought it was always a movie, but they were playing it like a movie on Channel 12. I don't know why. That's something different. But usually they just play straight out movies, not like a TV show as a movie. And there was a line in the movie I'll show you that said, like, at the beginning, James Bond gets shot at. And the guy says, are you the fellow that was shot? And Bond said, no, I'm the fellow that was missed. And it's played by Barry Nelson. And, you know, it was different. And Peter Lorre played the bad guy. And it basically consisted around the game of Baccarat in the casino. And then it said right here, the little history said, contrary to popular belief, the honor of being the first actor to play James Bond did not fall on Sean Connery, but on American Barry Nelson, who started, and this was like a live 1 hour broadcast, Ian Fleming's Casino Royale. And it was first in a CBS Climax series, like a drama series. And then the CBS bought the rights for Ian Fleming's first book for $1,000. Since then, the rights have gone up higher, you know, a lot higher. And this was shot in black and white. And the one thing that I saw right there, I didn't want to read it before I saw the thing. It said that it was a lot of things that was actually lost until 1981, even though I think, like I said, ICU-12 picked it up and played it a couple times. And it said that all the VHS copies lacked the climax of the film, but I don't want to say what it was. But yeah, I don't want to give anything away on that. But it's a lot different. It's a little bit. It's only okay. It's very low budget. But what I probably would have only gave it like a 5. But because of Peter Lorre playing the bad guy, who's a great bad guy, I'm a big fan of his anyways, I give it a 6. It's only okay. It's a low budget. I put the link in the script of the whole movie. Because you'll see like there's an ending and then there's a scene that might be a little bit too intense for TV. That's like kind of screwed up looking. That was the missing part. I don't want to give anything away. But I think Peter Lorre really made the show. Barry Nelson did a fine job. And the weird thing about that is, you know, people would, you know, call him James Bond or Mr. Bond. But in this one, they also called him Jimmy, or Jim or Jimmy, which I think Daniel Craig will probably punch you in the throat if you called him Jimmy. But that's the truth. Sean Connery was not the very first actor to play James Bond. Barry Nelson was. So I hope you like this video. And until next time, I hope you learned something. And I learned something. And it was so cool. I finally solved the mystery that's been, you know, just not really bugging me. But I was trying to solve it. I knew I was right. I knew I heard it right. Solved the mystery that's been, it probably happened since the 80s. So, I mean, it was cool. Just like that cereal. I like to have the werewolf, the one monster cereal. They got rid of it. They did away with it. I think this one guy told me what it was called in one of the Fort Detrick. I asked him Atkins. I think it was called Fruit Brute. It was a werewolf cereal. It was like a cherry cereal because they had like Frankenberry and Blueberry and Count Chocula. And they had a couple other. They had the werewolf one, and then they had a mummy one, which I don't remember, called Yummy Mummy. But they brought those two back. I should have got Yummy Mummy. I never did. I got Fruit Brute, though. I did a review of that, and no one watched it, as usual. But it was all right. And that solved the mystery, too. But I'm glad I saw this. I hope you liked this video. And Sean Connery was not the first guy to play James Bond. It was Barry Nelson, of all people, in this TV show, which is very on the low budget, like a black and white, shot live, with just a couple sets. But it was really cool to see. If you're a big fan of James Bond, it might be interesting for you to check out. And it was interesting to check out. Like I said, Peter Lorre, Barry Nelson was fine, but I think Peter Lorre really made it as a bad guy and really made it a little bit better than a 5, the 6 out of 10. So I hope you like this video. Until next time, bye, please. Take care of my legion. All right, baby.